come to flip. So now we'll be talking about alkenes and really go into detail what actually are alkanes and really their structures, the naming, and their reactions. Okay, so alkanes are actually hydrocarbons. Okay, if you remember what's a hydrocarbon, it just means that they only consist of hydrogen and carbon only. Okay, there's no oxygen, no other any elements. Okay, with the general formula, CN H2N plus 2. So what do I mean by this? Okay, N refers to any number. Okay, can be 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, so if you set the number N as maybe say 1, you have to sub the value back here. Okay, so if your N is 1, it will be C1 H1 times 2, which is 2 plus 2, which is H4. Okay, it's the same as CH4. If now your N is say 3, it will be C3 H sub the 3 here. 3 times 2 will be 6 plus 2, 8. Okay, and this is C3H8. Okay, so now now hopefully you understand what it means to be the general formula for alkanes, which is CnH2n plus 2. Okay, so this is the one. Alkanes are also saturated, means there's no double or triple bonds between them. So let me just show you an example. Okay, we'll go into details later, just give you a preview. So these are alkanes. Okay, this is an alkane actually. This is ethane actually. It doesn't have any double bond. Okay, a double bond is like that, and a triple bond is like this. Okay, you don't see it here. This is only a single bond. Okay, and you can see that each carbon has 4 bonds around it. Okay, let me use another color. So for example, we look at this carbon. Okay, it has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this is what it means to be an alkane. Okay, all the carbons have only have 4 bonds around it. Okay, there's no double bond, no triple bond for alkanes. Okay, let's move on to the naming of them. Okay, so in your syllabus, okay, if you look here, sorry, let's go back here. You only have to know until from methane to butane. Okay, so there's only 4 of them to cover. Okay, you can memorize the remaining ones, which is pentane, hexane, etc. But it's really not needed because you're only required to know this 4. Okay, so let's go back to here. Yes. So number of carbon. Okay, which means there's only, remember our general formula is CnH2n plus 2, correct? So let's try subbing in, okay? This is a bit of mathematics. If its number of carbon is 1, so it's C, okay, 1 you don't write, okay, H, okay, 1 times 2 is 2 plus 2, 4. Okay, let's try number 2. If now my C is 2, C2, H, 2, sub in here, 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2, 6. Okay, let's try 3, C, 3, H, okay, sub 3 here, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2, 8. Okay, then 4, if it's 4 you should know, C4, okay, sub in here again, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10. Okay, that's how we know the formula. Okay, so this is the formula for the first 4 alkene in the alkane family. Okay, how do we name them? I'll give you the name first, then I'll teach you how to memorize them. First one is actually called methane. Second is ethane. Third is propane. Finally, it's butane. Okay, so now since we are on the topic of alkane, okay, one tip I have for you is to take out the A and E. Okay, if you take out the A and E, take out the A and E, take out the A and E, and take out the A and E, you will see that it is actually quite simple. It is meth, F, prop, and but. Okay, so if it's 1 carbon, it's meth, 2 carbon, F, 3 carbon, prop, 4 carbon, but. How to remember them? There's a very simple way. Me eat peanut butter. Okay, so this is how you remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 corresponds to M, 2 E, 3 P, 4 B. Okay, me eat peanut butter. That's how you remember methane, ethane, propane, and butane. Okay, that's how you name them. Hopefully it's clear. Okay, so now let's draw them. If it's only one C, okay, remember in alkane, all C's have 4 bonds surrounding them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. You fill those with hydrogen. Okay, if it's 2 carbons, 2 C's, 1, 2, fill the rest with hydrogen. Easy? Okay, it should be. Okay, pardon my handwriting. Now let's try 3 C's. Okay, so we always start with the C first. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the rest of the space, make sure that there's 4 bonds surrounding the carbon. Okay, fill them with hydrogen again. Okay, should be quite simple. Right? Finally, if there's 4 carbon, draw 4 carbons first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure there are 4 bonds around C. And fill in C. Fill in H. Okay, should be quite simple. Okay, then if you are not sure, okay, you can do a final count actually. So the formula here is C with 4H. C with 1, 2, 3, 4, H. C2 with 6H. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C3 with 8 H's. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C4H10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this is the whole naming idea behind alkane. Me eat peanut butter, this acronym actually applies for all organic family. Okay, we'll go into detail right now. Okay, and it's just a naming technique. This part, the first part, is actually called the prefix. The behind the one that gives it the family name is actually called the suffix. Okay, this one you don't have to know. This is just English at play. But if you want to be seem smarter in front of your friends, you can actually use the prefix and the suffix. Okay, let's move on to the final part for alkane. Okay, and the final part is actually alkane reactions. Okay, there are two reactions for alkane. First one being combustion. Remember we talked about combustion as burning of fuels in the first the overview for this chapter. Okay, so combustion is really just reaction with oxygen. So there are two, remember, the first one being complete combustion, which means there's a lot of air, a lot of oxygen right there. Okay, so you don't lack oxygen when you burn this object. The other one being incomplete combustion. Okay, I'm sure you remember, which means there's only limited supply of oxygen. Okay, there's super little. Okay, so how do we form the reaction for them? In this case, okay, let me give you the formula to remember. CXHY plus, okay, this is a bit of mathematics, X plus Y over 4, okay, whole thing, oxygen, giving you X amount of carbon dioxide plus Y over 2, holding bracket, amount of water. Because if you recall in our video on the overview of fuels and oil, fuels from gas, we told you that complete combustion means you only get 2 products. First one being carbon dioxide, second one being water. Okay, so let's sub in a value to see how it actually works. Okay, if we use the case of methane, CH4, okay, plus, because now our C is 1, right? Correct? For methane, there's only 1 carbon. For methane, there are 4 hydrogens. Okay, so in this case, 1 is X, Y is 4. Okay, so we sub in here accordingly. X is 1, right? So 1 plus Y is 4, right? So 4 over 4 O2, okay, gives me X is 1, CO2. Okay, obviously you don't write this, but we are just working out step by step. So if you're confident, you can actually jump to the final part. Okay, but for cause we are still introducing this chapter, so let's do it from scratch. Okay, because y is 4, okay, y is 4 here, we start with 4 to y, and we get y 4 over 2 water. If you work this out, we actually get CH4 plus 2 oxygen, correct? Because 1 plus 4 over 4 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, giving me CO2, okay, please don't write the 1 anymore, plus 4 divided by 2 is 2, water. Okay, and this is the final equation for methane. Okay, so maybe you can try doing for example, ethane C2H6, and maybe also for propane C3H8. Okay, give it a try. If you can solve it, if you can solve this too, you should have no problem with this combustion part. Okay, now for the incomplete combustion. So for incomplete combustion, remember we talk about it being the product we'll get is carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and carbon. Remember? So I told you that examiners cannot test you to predict the products here. But if they were to ask you to suggest a possible equation, this is what you can suggest. Okay, CXHY plus X over 2 plus Y over 2 oxygen, giving me X amount of carbon dioxide plus Y over 2 water. Okay, of course carbon dioxide and carbon will be formed in other amounts, but for the case of example, this is what you can give them. Okay, so I'll leave it to you to solve. You can try for maybe say C2H6, okay, subbing, so now my X is 2, my Y is 6. Okay, so with this information, you can actually try subbing it into all these areas. Okay, you can give it a try. You can leave the answers in the comment section below. Okay, okay, so this is the equation to give for incomplete combustion, while this is the one for complete combustion. Okay, hopefully it's clear. Okay, so second one, it's actually, oh sorry, before that, let me just talk about this. Combustion is a process that releases heat, so it's exothermic. Okay, obviously because when there's fire, okay, if you put your hand on it, obviously it burns, right? Because it's exothermic, it gives off heat. Okay, so when you burn whatever fuels that you have here, the heat actually is converted to heat energy. Okay, that's why it's exothermic. Okay, let's move on to the final reaction. Okay, the final reaction is called substitution reaction, which is to react with halogens, in particular chlorine. Let me just give you an example first before we talk about it. So we have here, you should by now recognize it's a methane with a chlorine molecule, giving me a substituted chloromethane plus a hydrogen chloride. How this works is this. Imagine this is the C. This is the C. This is the H. Sorry. This is the H. This is the H. Okay, so what you can observe is that they swap. They have swapped, correct? This C comes in here, this H goes up here. So it becomes like this. Okay, this is that's why it's called substitution. Because it's H is being swapped for a Cl. And it only takes place in the presence of UV light. You replace it, and it continues until the Cl runs out. So you can actually form this molecule. Okay, but this is not in our syllabus. You just have to know it forms this molecule, which is called a chloromethane. Okay, hopefully it helps.